Welcome everybody to episode 16 of the Canuckleheads podcast. My name is Justin and I'm joined by my co-host Mr. Wes. And we got some stuff to go over. We did miss a week. We had a bit of a COVID outbreak on the Canuckleheads stage here. I was down for the count with a small dose of the Rona. Voice is still a little bit scratchy, so
bear with them.
That, yeah. But we picked a good week to miss anyways because there were no games. Nothing happened at all in the world of the Canucks. So apologies for missing an episode, but
if you're gonna miss one, that's the one to miss. So
I was just trying to not slip in and out of consciousness too much for about a week there. So, I guess first thing before we get into the games, Thatcher Demko was named to the All-Star game. Whatever the Pacific team, I think it was.
One of the goaltenders.
And rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all the Canucks, he deserves it. Miller deserves it too. Hughes deserves it, but Thatcher was definitely the right choice. That would have been the one, if they had went with like Miller over him or something, I would have questioned it a little bit. But.
Which, you can still vote JT Miller in to the All-Star game, so get your votes in for JT Miller.
We should go over the All-Star format too, because it's kind of a joke, I think. Every team does not need a representative, right? Like the Coyotes don't really have anybody that deserves to go.
I don't know if you've seen Nathan McKinnon's comments.
Yeah.
I found those pretty accurate.
Yeah. Like how is a guy, I think at the time Kadri was like 4th overall in scoring, not on the All-Star team like that?
Only because 2 guys can go. It's like, how about we let one of the bums not come from one of the other teams that shouldn't even be there and let one of the best players in the league do his thing, you know? So
100%. Like it's an All-Star game.
You're coming to see the best players.
I want to see the best players.
Exactly.
Right? Like, it's a little less a thing for me now, too, right? Like, when you're a kid, I think, is when the All-Star game is really cool. Like, you see all the best players play and stuff.
I still enjoy watching.
I like the skills competition. I don't really watch the games that much.
Yeah, me neither. The games are kind of just like...
whatever.
Yeah. And
nobody's really, like, trying.
Exactly. You can see it's like very loose and like it's fun, but like I'd rather watch the skills comp like you see.
And then you want to see the best players doing that, right?
Yeah, like the sharpshooter contest, like where they have the lights in the net, like when Des just rifled them all off. I was loving every second of that. So
fun fact, I believe Daniel Sedin still holds the record for the most accurate shooter. So.
Absolute rockets.
Okay, so let's go over some games for the first time in a long time. January 11th, 2022. The Vancouver Canucks were in Florida to take on the Panthers. Thatcher Demko got the start. Brock and Dickinson were back. Brock from COVID protocol. I don't remember if Dickinson was hurt or if he was just in protocol or not.
I can't remember either.
And then we had Olio Levy in for the Panthers, so playing his former team for the first time.
Which I was pretty happy to see him in that game, and honestly, he looked pretty damn good playing with them, so it was nice to see.
I think it's hard to look bad playing for the Panthers.
Exactly, they're such a good team.
Yeah. This one we had a weird line change. The coach Boudreau swapped Pearson and Podkolzin, and I wasn't like a big fan of it.
Neither was I.
Yeah, I was questioning why immediately.
You've seen the lines today looked a lot different.
Yes,
and I think that's why.
And it seemed for no reason really. Like Pearson with Miller and Besser was working. So I don't know why.
He must have seen something in practice where he was like, I'm going to make the switch. The wrong switch to make, honestly. In my opinion, I'm not with the team every day, so... But
I would agree with you, though. I would just let the lines roll. So we had a couple milestones in this game, too, actually. Petey and Brad Hunt both played their 200th career games.
Yep.
And Thatcher Demko was in game number 100 for his NHL career. So congratulations to all 3 of those guys.
Yeah.
We had a goal from Jason Dickinson in the first here.
Let's go.
Who's been heating up a little bit. This was his first goal on a goalie, I think, since like we played the Blackhawks in game 3 or 4.
Yeah, one empty netter before that.
So
but, I mean, he's been like this, like just slow climb. He's coming up here.
He has been better, and I think it was this game. I think he was playing center. Maybe I was wrong, but it was either this or the Tampa Bay game. Went 5 for 2 on the faceoffs.
That's what
or like 5 and 2 in the faceoffs. So
that's what you like to see.
Yeah, and for a guy who was struggling in the faceoffs and who we moved to winger essentially, nice to see him actually winning some faceoffs.
Yep.
And a good spin pass from Connor Garland to set him up on this.
Yeah.
So Garland gets the assist there.
Gnarly Garly.
And then this one was 2-1 for Florida at the end of the first. And then at the end of the second, it was 5-1 for Florida. And it's like the thing that was frustrating about this game we'll kind of get a little bit ahead. The Canucks lost 5-2. The Canucks outshot the Panthers. Played a pretty good game. It just the Florida offense. They scored 4 goals. They scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second, very quickly. Within a couple minutes of each goal. So that was kind of the killer there, right? This game doesn't look as bad as the score. Yeah. Florida is a really good team, but the Canucks kind of kept up with them. Demko was a little bit off tonight. Yeah. Not blaming him for the loss. He just wasn't his usual self. But we had another week off.
Exactly. Had a little break there. And you see goalies, the more games they play in a row, the more of a hot streak they can get on. So you just come off a break, you're going to let a couple pass.
Yeah, and especially when you got to play Florida, which could arguably be the best team in the league. So. Yeah. But in the third, we had a goal from Lamico, scored against his former team. And a good tip from a point shot from Brad Hunt. Fourth line was really good in this game. Yeah. Boudreau kind of didn't really try to give him an easy night. They were matched up, I think, against Huberdeau on the first shift. And
that's what I like about Boudreau, man. He shows confidence in his lines. Yeah. He's showing this line, you guys have to be the grinders, the fast skaters, the big hitters, and they've been coming out and doing that.
Yeah. Also in the first period, we had a fight between JT Miller and Radko Gudas. Wasn't really a...
They were just hacking and slashing down to the line.
Yeah, they kind of just grappled each other and then...
Yeah, I feel like the goal is what set JT off. And
I think so.
Fuck it, let's just... Pissed. Yeah, and it's like the energy booster that Garland did one night, you know what I mean? And the game really turns around. Didn't extremely turn for us. It's just to show some energy in the boys like it.
And JT Miller's a leader, so he's just trying to spark the boys. So
yeah.
Then at the end of the game, we had a scrap between Tanner Pearson and I believe it's Mackenzie Weegar is his first name, but Weegar from the Panthers. So Pearson dropping the gloves a couple times in the last couple games. So
love to see it.
Yeah, it's a little emotion from Pearson. But yeah, the Canucks weren't bad in this one. Just got a bad result against a good team. And I wasn't concerned after this one just because it is the Panthers, right? But it does suck because you're hoping to keep winning these games and keep on the point streak. This was the first game the Canucks have went without getting a point under Boudreau. So
which I'm pretty sure the stat on Florida coming into this game was 4 or 5 games in a row with 4 or more goals. Yeah, so it's they're just destroying everyone right now. So it's kind of hard to come into their barn and steamroll them. It's a tough goal when you play Florida right now.
Yeah. So on January 13th, 2022, we had the Vancouver Canucks at the Tampa Bay Lightning. Demko starts again. PD got moved to the wing with Bo and Garland, and I like that move a lot.
Me too.
Because those two guys are always going.
Yep.
Bo doesn't really have quiet nights. He doesn't get results every night, but he's always noticeable. So it was Boudreau trying to get PD going by basically dragging him into a fight with Garland and Bo, because those guys are always on.
Yeah, 100%. And I think... Bo, I can't remember the stat coming into this game. It was out of the last 5 or 6 games, he had scored 4 goals. So you'll love to see that out of Bo too.
Yeah, and Connor Garland played his 200th career game this game too. So congratulations to Garland. Lots of game milestones this week for the Canucks.
Yeah.
So in this one, we had a goal from Matthew Highmore on a nice shot from the top of the circle. Just kind of sniped one, which... when your fourth line can chip in against a team like Tampa,
makes a big difference.
That's big.
And are we going to get into Motter's disgusting goal?
We will eventually.
Holy crap.
So after one period, it was 2-1 Tampa. After 2 periods, it was 2-1 Tampa. And then, we had a goal from Tyler Mott. Which
Filthy.
This is why Connor Bedard, this is why Mott's his favorite player. So, he was behind the net, beside it a little bit, and through the legs, up over Vasilevsky. This is why I don't want Mott to get traded. There's been a lot of talk of that, because he is a tradable piece, right? Yeah. Potentially to a team like Tampa, maybe even a cup contender like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This is one of those guys that I might be okay with maybe overpaying a little bit to keep him. Just because he's the heart of the fourth line now,
Yeah, he really is, and he's a guy that you can bump up in the lineup too. If other guys aren't performing, you can bump him to the second line just to kind of show guys, remotivate guys, and he fits in well. on a line like that because he is a fast skater. He is a skilled player.
Yeah.
It's just,
he's a very underrated player. I think he gets...
Which, extremely funny, he goes through the legs, top shelf. All of a sudden on NHL 22, they put a new... what do they call that? Like a Team of the Week card of him on NHL, and it's an 86 overall. Oh. And I'm like, holy smoke, showing Tyler Mott some love off of one filthy goal. Where is Connor Garland's 86 card? I've been waiting for that one to pop up so I can put him on the squad. So NHL, figure it out, bud.
All right, NHL rant there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think he gets kind of penciled in as just a fourth liner, but he's so much more than that. He's a great penalty killer. He's so good with his stick at blocking down passes, like we've talked about before. Like you always say, like he gets so many shorthanded breakaways because he can read plays and like he's just got good hand-eye. He's much more than a fourth line player, and I would rather keep him than trade him. I think. In
my opinion, he's our best penalty killer. I'd rather have him out there, and JT Miller has proven to be a pretty goddamn good penalty killer as well. But I'd love to see just him and JT just trying to block passes and get on the break, because those two are dangerous coming out onto the freaking into the ozone. So
so the Canucks wound up losing this one 4-2, which sucks. This was another case of we kept up with the Lightning. We might have outshot them in this game too.
And in my opinion, we played better against the Lightning than we did against Florida.
Yeah, and it's just they're just two good teams, right? Like these are maybe like the top two of the top 3 teams in the league.
And I did feel like in these two games we were snake bitten a little bit too.
The big guns,
it was hard for us to put the puck in the back of the net. Just had some unlucky bounces and stuff like that, but
yeah. So this one's kind of a killer, right? Because you get 2 goals from your fourth line.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like
which with Schenner getting his ring in this game, it would have been kind of nice to catch the dub, just to fuel him a bit. But whatever, it is what it is. He still got the ring, and they flew on out of there. So
yeah, 4-2 loss for the Canucks in Tampa Bay. Again, not a bad game. Just sucks to not get a point. So the next night, January 15th, 2022, we had back-to-back games. This is Saturday. We had we were in Carolina, the Canucks in Carolina, as I fumble over my words there. I'm still a COVID brain. I'm going to ride that excuse for a while.
Yeah.
Thatcher Demko gets the start, but Yaroslav Halak was supposed to start, but he was put in COVID protocol during warm-ups. Yeah. So hopefully that doesn't lead to a domino effect of a bunch of other guys getting put into COVID protocol here. So
which it kind of sucks that it's such a tight schedule. Like we have to bang these games out so quick. So literally guys are falling off the day of. Yeah. And it puts you in kind of like it puts you in a bit of a tough situation, because then it's like, all right, mentally you have to switch on now and be between the pipes, which Thatcher Demko is the kind of guy, I don't think that's a big issue for him.
Yeah.
It's just like... So, like, at least when you're the goalie on the bench mid-game getting put in, you can visually see it happening, and you're like, okay, I better start getting prepared to go in net. Not like, okay, in like 3 hours, you got to be between the pipes.
And, like, you've got to watch the teams play, too, right? You kind of have a sense, you feel the game a little bit. This isn't just, you're thinking you have a day off, and then you're in.
Exactly.
So we had a goal from Beaufort, William Scorvat, who ripped it top corner glove side. Just a nice shot from Beau.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it for this one. It was 4-1. Carolina won this one.
Yeah.
If you look at the 3 games here, like I don't remember who scored that first goal for the Panthers. One of their big guns.
Yeah.
I wasn't Huberdeau, but
yeah, but their whole team's been rolling as of late.
You look at the Tampa game, Stamkos scored. Mm-hmm. You look at this game, Aho got the first goal. Like that was the big thing. Is the big guns were rolling for the other teams, where our guys weren't.
Which Beau did get the goal. It's just Freddie Anderson, man, the saves he made in that game, in the Carolina game, holy smokes. Like, I know he wasn't doing that good on the Leafs, but he showed, like, he's playing really good hockey
I would say the Canes have maybe a more defensive structure than the Leafs, too, which kind of helps out their goalie a little bit.
But he made some monster saves, he was doubt about it.
Petey had a rough game in this one.
Yeah.
Got
the skate in the face.
Got a Podkolzin skate to the nose. Didn't cut him or anything, but it was
close.
Scary.
It was real
Gave
close.
him a bloody nose, but yeah.
Ate it like a champ, too. Stick slam on the bench. I love seeing the fire out of Petey.
And then he had another play, too, where he was coming in on a 2-on-1. Stick snapped. So he's going to skate around to get another stick, and Freddie Anderson just straight up trips him. Like, the puck wasn't there. He just took his feet out. No penalty call.
I was glad that PD gave it to the ref on the way through. Like, what the hell, man? Are you kidding me? Like, that was a blatant trip. Everyone's seen it. Like, even the announcers are like, that was a trip. Like, no call. Okay.
And very, like, random, too, right? Yeah. Like, PD wasn't...
Just threw a poke right in the feet. Yeah. Like, it was
no idea why it happened, but it didn't get called. But maybe that's something PD needs, just to get really frustrated to start rolling here, because the Canucks have done a lot without him.
Yeah.
And they need him to do some stuff here.
He's a big piece to the puzzle.
And again, if there's going to be any shot of the playoffs at all, PD's got to be on his game.
Yeah.
But Canucks fall 4-1. Rare early game for the Canucks in this one.
12 o'clock.
Yeah, in Saskatchewan it was a noon puck drop for us, so very weird.
And I'm sure for the players that's weird. It's like you're so used to playing at like 8, 9 o'clock, then it's like, okay, we got to turn it on by 12 today.
Yeah, even the announcers were talking about it. They said they were at the rink by 8 in the morning, so I'm not sure what time that is in Carolina, but like what time noon here is in Carolina. But it was early. It was an early one.
Very early, yep.
And then we go to today, actually. We're recording Sunday. Normally we do Saturdays, but scheduling conflicts yesterday, so we're here today. The Canucks just finished a game in Washington, January 16th, 2022. Demko starts back-to-back games here. Kyle Burroughs was back in this one instead of Hunt, which I am grateful for, because I don't want to rip on Hunt because he's an okay depth guy. I've seen enough of him.
Yeah, I don't want to rip on Hunt either. He has played pretty decent. Like, you're not like super noticing him all over the ice, but you're also not noticing him for like terrible turnovers or anything like that, which is nice.
To me, he's been having like one big bad play a game.
Okay.
Which I can't kill him for, right? Like,
no, every D-man you're going to get put in a tough spot.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. He doesn't... I would rather see Burroughs play.
Me too. I'd rather see Burroughs or Rathbone play.
Yeah.
And like, you see it in this next game, or in the game we're talking about now, why we want to see Burroughs instead of Hunt in there.
So this one, Connor Garland got put into COVID protocol, so that sucked a lot. I thought that was going to be a heartbreaker for the Canucks there, but we'll get into it here. 1-0 Capitals after one. We don't usually talk about the other teams' goals, but
might as well.
We all love Ovi, so Ovi's got a power play goal. 106 mile an hour one-timer.
Yeah, and the more goals that he gets this year, the closer he gets to that benchmark. So, I mean, it's just impressive to talk about.
And that was a cannon. Like, there wasn't traffic in front. He just straight up beat Demko.
Yeah, and Demko got a good piece of it. Just when you wire one that fast, it's going to trickle through, so...
So then we had a goal in the second period from Elias, the alien Pettersson, on a good pass from Bo. Bo was in the bumper spot, kind of threw it over to Petey. Petey made a move to deke around a sliding defenseman and just ripped it past Samsonov.
And it was funny because as soon as he makes that deke, I'm yelling at the TV, "No! Just shoot it! Just shoot it!" And then he makes a beautiful move, bar in. So, I mean, he knows what he's doing. I'll just zip it up.
That was a vintage Petey shot, and he needed that goal. Like, this...
Needed it.
You could just, like, things boiled over in the Carolina game. He was frustrated a couple times. He's probably been frustrated for a while, but it started to finally show here. So
which in this game as well, you've seen Besser get fired up a few times in this game, which I was happy about.
Yeah, Bess got hit. Got rocked once there.
Yeah, and nowhere near the puck.
Yeah.
And he gave it to the ref. I could hear him on the TV yelling at the ref.
Yeah, I saw him. He was going off on a line change. I saw him stop, turn around, and yell at him.
And not a lot of people probably caught this, too. When he was skating back to the bench at one point in the game, I think it was the second period, him and a guy got tied up, and Bess was, like, giving it to him. And I was like, is Bess about to drop the mitts here? Never seen that before, so...
Speaking of dropping the mitts, we had a scrap.
Yeah.
Kyle Burroughs fought Irwin from the Capitals.
Kind of just toyed him.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't think Irwin was expecting a fight, but
he kind of dropped his gloves first.
Yeah, I think maybe he didn't think Burroughs would.
Exactly, and Burroughs dropped the gloves so fast, and then he kind of pulled him off balance. Then once he was off balance, he was kind of just on Bambi legs. He was all over the place, and Burroughs was just kind of toying with him. Which I was glad that the refs made the right call on this one. They gave him 4 minutes each for roughing.
Yeah, it was weird. I thought they were getting...
It's because no punches really landed, and I was happy with that. I was like, okay, that's actually a
fair
good call.
Point. Yeah. I always thought that, like, when you drop the gloves, that's 5 minutes.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. So I was kind of glad that the refs did that.
Yeah. So then we had another goal from Elias, the alien Pettersson.
And this one, you could tell, like, the first one, no smile. Like, all business, like, I'm supposed to do that. Let's go back to the bench. This one, you seen the smile come out. He was like, yes, and 2 goals.
This was a kind of, not a vintage PD goal, but a confident goal.
Just shooting.
Not even shooting. He was behind the net. He banked it off the goalie's back.
But that's the thing.
A confident move to try that.
And he takes the first shot, gets the puck back, shoots it again. Like, just shooting, and it pays off.
Yeah, like if this was before his first goal, he probably was trying to set something up out front and
come around the net or something. Yeah.
But yeah, just banked it in off the goalie and scored a goal. So
beauty too.
PD with 2, which is huge. So
I sallied really hard on that second goal just because I'm so happy to see PD start to get rewarded.
Yeah, and we were texting during the game when he scored that first one. I text Wes. I was like, well, he needs to do it again.
Yeah.
And then he did it again. So.
Yeah.
But now he needs to do it again.
Yeah.
This is not like a...
What's he at now? 7, I think?
8.
8?
This is...
Okay, it's 7 or 8
came in this game.
Yeah, and I'm really happy about that. Like, he has another half of the season here, not quite to at least put another 10 goals on the board. Let's hope he can get that done.
Yeah. And yeah, this needs to be a continuation of the step in the right direction, right? Like this, we can't have PD go 7 games without a point again or something like that.
Which, from the start of the season, the way his play was, to now... Like, it seems like it got a little bit better. Then it was pretty stagnant for a while, like at that level. And now it seems like it's coming up a little bit. Obviously, it's easy to say that when he has a 2-goal game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, a little bit of frustration the game before. Then you see him come into this game, get a couple goals. That's pretty nice to see.
And hopefully it's the start of him doing, like, not just scoring, but, like, making moves and being confident with the puck and throwing good passes, which we've rarely seen so far.
Yeah.
Then we had another goal from Beaufort, William Horvat, on the power play in the bumper slot. Yeah. Something we haven't seen very often this year, actually. Yeah. This is the only one I can really recall from...
A couple other times, but very rare now because everyone's tying Bo up so hard in front of the net because they know you give him that bumper, man, he's scoring 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, but yeah, this was just a good pass from JT Miller. Was basically beside him and just threw the puck over to him and beat Samson.
I like how it came from JT, went to Quinn, back to JT. You see that guy kind of leave Bo, and Bo's kind of just standing there. JT reads that. Bo scores the goal perfectly. Yep.
So 3-1 Vancouver after 2 periods. And then in the fourth period. Then in the third period, we had a empty netter from JT Miller.
Which...
on a great hustle from Brock to get that puck.
Yeah, and I was pissed because Elias Pettersson was out there before that line, and I was like, get the Hattie. I wanted him to get that hat trick so bad, and you seen he didn't even really try for it. He just kind of knew he was going to cycle off, get off the ice, which... Like, the puck went behind the net.
Yeah.
He chased it, but then kind of just stood there and then took a bump. I was like, do a wraparound quickly. Like, try to get that hat trick. I don't think he was too worried about it, though.
No, I think they were just trying to seal the win there.
Yeah, and great hustle from Bess. Actually, a laser beam pass to JT Miller. Super accurate pass right through Ovi, too. Beautiful play.
Yeah, it was a good hustle from Bess
to seal the deal on that game.
So Canucks take that one 4-2. We wind up going 1-3 this week,
which against the best teams in the league.
Yeah, this was a killer road trip.
There's no worse road trip you could have in the entire National Hockey League than the road trip that we just went on, and it showed. It was a tough go.
And we still got Nashville this coming week. But
yeah, and it's not like we got beat down either. Like a couple of
we were
those
competitive
games,
in all these games.
Yeah, a couple of the games, you look at the score sheet, you might think we did, but if you actually watch the games, we held our own. Like, we played pretty damn well, especially in the Tampa game. Like, we could have probably caught a dub there if we would have had some puck luck.
I'd say, like, if we had our big guns going, all these games are winnable.
Yeah.
The Canuck, like he said, just based on scores, you'd think that we were trash all week, but they really weren't. They played all these games they were good in. So. Yeah. But yeah, just nice to finally get one win on the road trip, but you just got to win the one in Nashville on Tuesday night now. Just
that's
to
a
kind
big
of
game.
Salvage something out of it.
Yeah.
But I'm not choked about the way the road trip has gone so far.
No, and you see a couple losses in a row there, it's like, ugh, that's kind of stings, because then you're like, is the Boudreaux effect wearing off? Like, that's kind of what you think, but then when you review the game and you're like, no, like, we actually played pretty good, and then plus you take into account the teams that we're playing, it's a tough go. Like, that's a tough road trip for any team in the league, and I think Nashville, they're ranked number 1 in their division right now, good, so that's another big game ahead of us here. And these are big tests for our team to see where we're at. And I think after this road trip, our team has a good idea of that. And we can come into this next little homestand here pretty confident and buzzing.
I think now, too, the rust is kind of... Everybody's kind of getting in game shape again, right? Like, Demko looked he was good against the Capitals. Ovi had, 6 chances to score just on his own there.
100%. Like, one of his wrist shots registered at, almost 90 miles per hour.
He was firing it all night.
He was.
Okay, so something we forgot to do in the last episode we recorded is our score predictions for this upcoming week, which we will actually do now. So, just kind of the way our scheduling worked this week, we missed the Capitals game, which we would have talked about last episode, but there was no last episode. So, we got Nashville, in Nashville, Tuesday. Wes, what do you figure?
I'm going 3-1 Vancouver Canucks. Demko shuts the door on them. They're not getting frickin' barely nothing on them. They'll squeak one through. Probably a glove side high shot, because that seems like the only way you can score on Demko right now is high.
Or if you take away his eyes.
Down low, you're not scoring. He's on another level down low. So, we'll see how it goes. But I think we take the dub in that game, and it boosts the confidence for the boys. I think this Washington win really helped us. We'll be more impressive in our next game.
I'm going to go 4-3 for the Canucks.
I like that.
Yeah.
High scoring game.
Solid game.
I'd love to see a high scoring game, honestly. In our favor.
It feels like it's been a while since we've seen 7-goal game for the boys.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it would be nice.
They've been some tight checking games because teams know, with Boudreau now, you better be on your P's and Q's when you play us, because we're a fast team and we're coming to win. So.
Well, and just the way this team is at this point in the season, I don't think we're a high-scoring team. At the start of the year, you would think we're going to outscore our problems just with our forward depth, but they're not really a juggernaut of an offensive team. They're kind of a solid defensive team.
But once Petey starts rolling...
If Petey starts rolling.
I think he will, and I've had confidence in Petey. It's taken a while. Yeah, but it is what it is. But with Travis Green, you've seen a lot of those games 2-1, 2-1, maybe 3-1. But now with Boudreau, you do see a little bit more goals because there's a little bit more shooting going on, and plus there's a little bit more deep offensive zone play, not so much pulled back to the blue line. So maybe coming up here, we might see some high-scoring games.
Hopefully. Speaking of high-scoring games, we got the Florida Panthers in the house Friday night. Could be a tough one.
It's going to be a tough game, 100%, but this is one we need to win because they had their way with us in the last game. Hopefully their big guns are all there too. I know they've been going through a tough time with players not being able to show up in this and that, but I hope that... that's a tough one. You go first on this one.
Well, it is my turn to go first anyway.
That's true.
This is tough. Florida is good.
They're rolling.
I hate giving the boys a loss.
Yeah. You got to be realistic.
I'm thinking it's going to be 5-3 Florida.
And that's actually a pretty decent score prediction because they've been getting 4-5 in every frickin' game lately. It's nuts.
Jonathan Huberdeau might be the best player in the league right now.
That's true, 100%. And it seems like he cannot be bumped off the puck when he has it. He's just winning everything. It's so nuts. But especially at home, because we're at home, so it's a little bit different. But they're still such a good team.
Yeah, no matter way you slice it, it's still the
Panthers. I'll go 4-3 for I was gonna say the dipshits, but they're not dipshits. It's just I really want the boys to pull through here and go on a little win streak again because we really need it points wise. But Florida, man, they're tough to beat right now.
4-3 Florida. What did you say?
I said the dipshits, but for Florida.
All right. Yeah. Those are the only 2 games we have till we do our next episode. The week after is a lot of Western Conference teams, so this is where things start to get interesting again here. Because these are the teams we got to beat and catch. I know I talked about, I think the last episode, I'm going to a game in Calgary. Not 100% sure that's going to happen now, just because they're going to half capacity. Supposed to find out this week whether it's my tickets or not that gets canceled.
And if they do they refund you?
I didn't pay for them anyways. It was through
But I was hoping, because Justin on the last pod, number 15, he surprised me that our parents bought us tickets to the last game of the season against Edmonton, in Edmonton. But my girlfriend also, for my birthday, which is just after Christmas, January the 4th, she bought me tickets to that game as well.
Really?
Yeah, so now I have 2 sets of seats to the same game. I can't sit in all the seats. But what I'm going to have to do is put those ones up online, try and sell them. Someone out there, please buy them.
Keep an eye out.
And then I was hoping that me and her could go to the Calgary game if we get the money back on those seats, that I could see a couple games this season, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully I get to go to that game. I've spent 6 hours in Calgary because of a delayed flight, and that's about it. I'd like to go see the Saddle Dome and go watch the boys play.
And honestly, they have some pretty talented players over there too, so it'd be cool to see everyone play.
Go see the Calgary Canucks, Tanev, Markstrom.
Literally took a quarter of our team, and now they're buzzing.
So yeah, that's it for score predictions. We'll go over our Canuck of the week.
Yeah.
And you kick it off, Wes. I got mine.
Yeah, I didn't even honestly...
You want me to go first?
Yeah, no. Just give me a sec here. I didn't even think of a Canuck of the week because my mind was just
slacking.
Yeah, I was so into the game that just happened today here, and we caught the dub, so I was happy for that. You know what I'm going to do, and this will be a little bit of a surprise, but it's because of the game today. We're going with the Elias Pettersson 2-goal game. He's on the uprise. I want to see him keep scoring goals. Let's go, Petey.
All right, so you're going based off one game. All right, so I'm going to give my Canuck of the week to somebody who was good all week. Okay. Tyler Mott.
How could you not with the between-the-legs top cheese goal?
And just was great tonight, too, against the Capitals.
100%. He's always flying around the ice, making big hits. He's always involved. So that's a great Canuck of the week. He definitely deserves it. And... I don't want to say just based off of one game. Petey has been pretty decent. Yeah. So you can't be mad at that. And then plus with a two-goal game, want to bring his confidence up a little bit. Give Petey that Canuck of the week.
Yeah, no, he hasn't been bad. And it was nice to see him have a big game tonight.
2 goals, yeah.
So I got a tweet of the week here too. This comes from Wyatt Arndt at the Stanchion on Twitter. It's a picture of the first goal from the Florida Panthers game. First or second, I can't remember which one. It just says, "Good luck, have fun, Demko," and it's a picture of Thatcher Demko with 5 players in front of him blocking his view of the puck. So, just kind of how his night in Florida went.
Yeah, and it seemed like a game where it was just a tough go for the boys. Like, some of the guys didn't look fully engaged in that game either, which kind of frustrates you.
And first game back, right? Like, it's hard to get
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, here, this is the picture. Yeah. You got to look it up on Twitter just to see it, but there's just no way he was going to see that puck.
A train of guys in front of him.
No way at all. So,
which the Florida Panthers know, if you're going to score on Demko, put bodies in front of them, and that's what they do.
Well, and when a team like that's so skilled, that also crashes the net and screens the goalie like that, they're going to score goals.
Yep, and it's something that Florida and...
Tampa?
Florida and... Carolina both did... against us was keep it extremely simple but super effective.
Yes.
They used the walls really nicely and just kept it simple but really sharp hockey. And it was just really impressive to watch, honestly.
Yeah, there's a very clear level gap between the Canucks and then the Panthers, Hurricanes and Lightning, which are all legit, genuine Stanley Cup contenders.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if one of those 3 teams wins the cup this year.
Absolutely.
Not one bit.
If Tampa Bay went for 3, they were just so good, and and it's weird in that Tampa Bay game, their power play is struggling, and you're like, how?
Yeah.
With all the firepower they have, especially if they I don't know them that well, right? Because we don't watch them that often. But if they load up a power play unit, you're not stopping that.
No.
Kucherov, Stamkos, Hedman, Point.
Yeah.
You're not stopping that.
No. And it's so funny too. When we were playing Carolina, their frickin' penalty kill stats right now are retarded. I shouldn't use that word.
Chris, can you blur that out, please?
Bleep that one, Chris. Their frickin' penalty kill is insane right now. I think it was
30 in a row they hit against.
It was a ridiculous amount of penalty killing going on that team right now. And it's obviously for a reason. Those guys are nuts.
Yeah, that Panthers team is good. And just 3 of the deepest squads in the league, just from top to bottom, good. Yeah. And the Carolina defense, you look at it, and there's not a lot of big name guys, but they're all just really, really good players.
Sharp, yeah.
It's not like where you look at the Lightning and you have like Hedman, McDonough, I want to say Svechnikov, but Sergachev.
Yeah.
They're just kind of, I guess they've all been to the Cup 2 years in a row too, so they have that kind of with them.
Yeah, which it'll be interesting to see, like, the guys on Tampa, now that they've won twice in a row, do they have the same hunger to win it a third time?
Or just the energy. Like, that's a lot of hockey.
And then you're coming against players like what are on Florida and Carolina. They don't have a cup yet, lots of those guys. So they're grinding. They're trying to get that. So I feel like if one of those two teams faces Tampa in the playoffs, I think they're going to take them out.
Yeah, that Eastern Conference is going to be an animal to get through.
Oh, yeah. It's nuts.
And then even you have the Leafs too, right? Like
the Leafs are buzzing.
Yeah.
But wait till they get to the playoffs. First round, sunk. They're out of here.
We'll see. I hope the Leafs do good. I want the Leafs to do good. I got no hate against them.
Yeah. No, that was just for my buddies. They're all Leafs fans. Get out of here. Vancouver Canucks all the way. Yeah, ride or die.
I think that'll pretty much do it for this week's episode. Unless you got anything else you want to talk about?
I got nothing else.
Nothing else? All right. Tyler Mott with the potential goal of the year. So thank you for joining us. Again, sorry for missing an episode last week, but it probably would have been like a 20-minute episode because we had nothing to talk about. So.
Yeah, and sorry if the lighting was a little bit poor on this one. These windows in the back, it makes it tough. But NHL, Connor Garland, give him an 85 overall team of the week at least, man. I've been waiting for him to come out. He hasn't came out yet. Tyler Mott has one between the leg goals. He's got an 86. What is this? Come on, NHL. Step it up, bud.
All right.
EA Sports, come on now.
It's in the game.
Yeah.
So you can find us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube.
Everything.
Please, if you like the show, let us know and stay tuned for more episodes.
And to frickin' live stream games, we need 50 subscribers. Hurry up! We've been patient. I haven't been pushing the subscribers that much. Come on now. Bump up the subscribers on YouTube so that we can react to some games live. Maybe even we'll get some games at Chell going, live stream those. Who knows? We could do that on Twitch anyway, but we might get something else going here.
Well, I think that'll do it for this week's episode.
Yeah, another one in the bag.